Hey.
Jullie zijn live?
Ja man.
Oh.
Nee, niet live. Hun zijn live.
Oh.
Gewoon vragen stellen als je
Wij gaan gewoon opnemen en zo.
Oh, oké. Hoezo staan jullie apart dan?
Omdat we 3 verschillende groepen zijn die dezelfde dingen teachen, dan heeft iedereen tenminste zijn eigen dingen, want er zijn veel mensen en zo.
Dus jullie waren net samen toch die ene dag?
Ja toch?
Maar jullie zijn de 3 andere groepen?
Nee, we zijn dezelfde groepen, maar we zijn het aan het verspreiden, zodat er meer teachings zijn.
Oh, oké.
Shalom. All praises go to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kadash. Double honors unto the elder apostles, a great millstone for the teachings of the scriptures, among other things. And shalom to the sincere Akim across the world. Shalom. What you want to teach?
Yeah,
It's
okay.
cool. Hey, als je vragen hebt, kan je gewoon stellen. It's cool, hè?
Yeah, man, what happened scripture, man? Because this is what's happening, man. All these loose ends are being taken care of, man. As the brother brought out this guy that was in connection with Jeffrey Epstein and stuff like that. Got killed, man. They call it suicide. Meanwhile, he hung himself.
Hey, you can't see me, man. I can't see you.
He hung himself, plus he had a shotgun blast to the chest. A shotgun, you don't shoot yourself with a shotgun to the chest.
You can't even do that. You can't really do that.
Now, if they say it was a sawed off, that would still be strange. You would use a handgun to do that, and you don't shoot yourself through the chest, man.
Head.
You use your head. That's quicker, man.
Yeah, suicide is headshot. You know, he would probably load it up in his mouth or something like that, and then blow his fucking brains out. But he didn't. So-called, he shot himself in the chest, and then he hung himself. Who does that?
Maybe it's the other way. He hung himself,
and
he shot himself.
while he was hanging, he shot himself in the chest. I was thinking of that one too, but that's still funny. It's still funny.
It's a slow death.
If you're gonna kill yourself, you ain't gonna hang yourself and shoot yourself. You're gonna shoot yourself or you're gonna hang yourself.
Yeah.
You're not gonna do both. Because first and foremost, while you're hanging there, your arms is gonna go and then you're gonna go up in a twitch.
Yeah.
You're gonna tweak, and then basically you're gonna die. So you can't even focusly shoot yourself. You know, but we all know what it was. He probably was gonna expose somebody, you know, and there was like, you know what? This is what we do to people that want to expose us. And then they suicide him, man. Yeah. Right. You got a question?
Is this an inappropriate time?
No.
Okay. What do you believe in?
We believe that we are the Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks
Oh,
of.
you're Israelites.
The Hebrew Israelites.
Okay.
So the people that live in Israel right now,
Yeah.
they're not the real Jews according to the Bible and according to the historical events that happened to the Israelites mentioned in the Bible. Give me that Revelation 3 and 9. Oh yeah, you give me 2 and 9 then.
Okay, this is Revelation chapter 3, verse 9. Behold, I will make them the synagogue of Satan.
Read it again, read it good.
Behold, I will make them the synagogue of Satan.
I will make them of. Read it again.
Yeah. It's like it. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan,
Yeah.
which say they are Jews
Which say
and are not,
Which say they are Jews and are not. Go on.
but do lie.
But do lie. Go on.
Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet.
Is anybody going and worshiping before their feet right now? The true Jews will be worshipped before their feet once they get their powers back. And the scripture, go to Isaiah 2 and 1. It says, je spreekt Nederlands ook toch?
Yeah.
Okay, but I can talk English, right?
Also talking
Okay,
English.
so it says in the Bible that when the true Jews are back in the land where they come from, then there will be world peace, according to the Bible. So the people that are in that land right now, they're actually going to start World War III because they're actually busy with wars right now, and there shall be in the end time wars and rumors of wars, which is happening right now. I mean, Kremlin was like a few years ago, 2 years ago, something like that. 3 years ago. Crimea was 3 years ago.
3-4 years ago.
And now you have Ukraine, and they want to tell you that because in Ukraine there's no more oil, zonnebloemolie. Heb je ooit de velden gezien hier zo in Nederland van zonnebloemolie? Meters upon kilometers upon miles upon meters, honderden. And you have different countries that have sunflower seed. How you call those things again? Fields. You have alle 45 landen, all 45 countries in here, in Europe, all have sunflower seed fields. How can one land mess everything up and make everything more expensive? Do you know Elon Musk?
Yeah.
Did you know that Elon Musk made over $2 trillion in 1 year? That's the year 2020?
Yeah.
Did you know that, right? How can he make that type of money while the rest of the people on the planet Earth are not even allowed to have a job? How can he make that type of money? Because they're overcharging. For example, I'm going to give you an example. For example, the PlayStation. Did you know that it was selling for $1,500 to $1,000 a piece? But it was actually 500. And also the RTX graphics card and stuff like that. You look like you know something about that. Yeah, you look like you know something about right. But the graphics card, a 3060 Ti used to be 400 euros, but now, but back then it cost like 1,600, 2,000, sometimes $3,000. That's one of the ways how Elon Musk had made his trillion, because he has invested in those things. So he's making money at the expenses of other people by doing what? Lying. So it's all about a lie in this entire world. Read it.
This is Revelations chapter 3, verse 9, and it reads, "Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee."
Right, go to 2.
Yeah, this is Revelation 2 and 9.
Yeah, but Isaiah 2.
Isaiah 2, you mean, right?
Yeah, no. Revelation 2 and 9. Oh, you get that because you're there anyway. Revelation 2 and 9? Yeah. And you get the Isaiah 2 and 1.
This is Revelations chapter 2, verse 9, and it reads, "I know thy works and tribulation and poverty."
And poverty. Because the Lord said that the Israelites are actually living in poverty. These people that live in Israel right now, they control the whole world's finances. That's why even the KKK and the Nazis hate them. Why? Because they don't share their money. It's all about money. But go on.
"But thou art rich,
Rich in spirit and faith.
and I have known the blasphemy of them which say they are
They
Jews
say they are Jews
and are not,
and are not.
but are the synagogue of Satan."
They're the chief officer of Satan. Do you know who rules the Illuminati?
No.
The Illuminati is ruled by these people that call themselves Jews. Everything is ruled by the people that call themselves Jews. For example, you have the rap game, right? The rap industry.
Yeah.
All they do is talk about murdering each other and stuff like that. But what other race do you hear talking about killing each other like that? And it's actually being played on the radio.
Yeah.
No
I mean,
other race.
yeah.
No other race. Why? Because if they do it, they would put a stop to it. Look, our people been murdering each other. You know, you ever heard of Chirac or Chicago?
Yeah.
The gangs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We've been murdering each other for decades upon decades. No gun violences. All of a sudden, some bunch of white kids come up and shoot up their own schools. Oh shit, we gotta put. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a whole system set up in order to actually make these people basically die and kill themselves in any manner of way. Because you gotta understand, we're slave descendants. How did crack come up in the ghetto? We don't have no planes. We was not allowed to have a plane. We was not allowed to have boats. We wasn't even allowed to drive cars. How can the crack come up in the ghetto? They put it there in order for us to now murder each other very frequently. But this is the last one.
Is fucked up.
But this is the last one because I know you gotta go. Give me.
No,
Can I
it's
get
okay.
the word
Oh,
count?
I
okay,
got
okay.
time.
No.
Can I
Wait,
say something?
Wait, finish this. And
This
Isaiah
is,
2 and 1.
Isaiah 2 and 1. The word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains.
The mountain of the Lord's house. You know what that represents? It represents the government. When they have a summit meeting, what is a summit meeting? A summit meeting is the peak of a summit, which represents in people term, people physical form. It represents the heads of states coming together and doing a thing like Bilderberg Group. You know about the Bilderberg Group?
The Bilderberg.
Bilderberg is actually a Dutch thing. Is one of the high up elites type of meetings that they have, and then they decide the fate of the common people, which they call a bunch of cattle and stuff like that. That's
Ronde tafel, wat heb je nog meer hier? Bilderberg, de G7-conferentie.
Summit G7, Summit G7, G8. You heard about that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's basically a mountain. So give me Zechariah 8 and 3, just to show you that the mountain in the Bible, sometimes it's literal mountains, but sometimes it's actually talking about governments. And the Bilderberg is a mountain, it's a summit. the summit meetings and stuff like that. So can you read it, Zechariah?
This is Zechariah chapter 8, verse 3, and it reads, Thus saith the Lord, I am returned unto Zion, and I will dwell in the midst of Jerusalem.
Right.
And Jerusalem shall be called a city of truth,
Okay.
and the mountain of the Lord of hosts, the holy mountain.
So Jerusalem is called the mountain, but Jerusalem is actually a people before it is a place, because a city is just a city. You can't talk to a city. You can talk to the people living in the city. So that's why it's referred on to as Jerusalem, which are actually these people. But can you read on, Isaiah?
Yeah, so this is Isaiah 2 and 1. The word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains.
The mountain of the Lord's house shall be established on top of all the mountains, meaning the Israelites are going to be the ruling governors upon this planet Earth. Because who is the ruling governors right now upon this planet Earth? Who can actually stop stores from opening? And if you do, they'll fine you and put you in a jail and they give you a ticket. The so-called Caucasian race. They're now the top of all the other governments upon the planet Earth, because did you know that you need to speak English in order to fly a plane? So if you're in Japan and you want to become a pilot, you need to learn English. And if you want to actually do things in money and stuff like that, guess what language you need to do? English. That's why they have a lot of trouble with Russia right now and all the other countries, because they really don't require you to speak English. That's why they're having a little bit of friction with each other. Go on.
Can I ask you a question? Sorry. It's like the main, I mean, kind of talking about purpose within belief is kind of a flawed question, but I'm still gonna
Yeah, let's
ask.
go, let's go.
Is the purpose for unity for you, or is it like is the purpose like Jews as the enemy?
No, the whole world is the enemy of the Israelites, because everybody had us in slavery at one point of time.
Yeah.
The Arabs, the Chinese, the Japanese. Because I'm gonna give you an example. Have you heard of Suriname?
Yeah.
Did you know what the race is the president of Suriname? A Hindustani guy. And Guyana is the same thing. How can a Hindustani rule over our people? You gotta understand this. For example, je gaat hier naar school, toch? Okay. What would you think? What would the Caucasian people think if all the schools were actually run by dark-skinned people or Arabs?
I mean,
they would have a problem.
Free.
Yes, they would have a problem. They would be like, no, we don't want to learn your bullshit. We don't want to learn your history. We don't want to learn your things. We don't want to have your food. Well, that's actually what we want. We don't want to be fed GMO food. We want to have our own food. We want all our diamonds and our silvers and stuff like that. We want it back out of their museums. We want all our things to us. And then they need to buy it from us. And we're going to charge them real hard too. Why? Because they come in our country, they rape, rob, murder, they set up tanking systems, and then they suck the blood out of the land, and then they leave our people poor over there. You got to understand, the west coast of Africa is the richest continent upon the planet Earth, but still is the poorest continent for our people. Why? Because they milk the land and then they destroy it and leave it barren, and then they come here and then you need to go to their museums and pay for your own stuff to see it. So,
Crazy.
right, this is what we're actually talking about in battling, and the Lord is going to set everything right. But we need to teach our people about the Lord, who the Lord is, according to the Bible, not according to a bunch of pedophiles in the churches and stuff like that. I say the truth because that is what they're doing. Not according to them, because they're not going to jail when they do these things. If I was to steal a loaf of bread because I'm hungry, I'm going to have it on my record, and I'm not going to be able to work in the government. They can rape children, and nothing happens to them. They get a slap on the wrist, and then they have to pay a few people. Oh, I just pay you a couple of million. Oh! And then they go to another church and do the same thing. That's why you have guys like Jeffrey Epstein. That's nothing. That's nothing. That's just a baby guy in a world full of pedophiles. All these celebrities, like the guy that making Harry Potter, he came out and he said, there's a lot of pedophiles here. There's two Chris's, Chris and Chris. I forgot the other name. I forgot their names, but then they're called Chris and Chris. One killed himself because, you know, he came out and said, yeah, they raped me and stuff like that. He said Charlie Sheen raped him. You remember that? Okay, he's dead. And then the other one now, he's going around, but he doesn't speak any names because he knows he's going to be dead too. They are so powerful that they're scared to actually name the names of the people that was molesting them and are still molesting children until this day. Nothing happens to them. That don't look like the people of God. That look like a bunch of wolves in sheep clothing, speaking of the Bible, but actually doing other things on the side. You have our people also making how you call that thing? They make some like a misbruik van that thing. They always, they want money and stuff like that. That's why a lot of our people, my people, their pastors are rich, but the people are poor. Those are also wolf in sheep clothing. But everything is going to be rectified through the truth of the Heavenly Father. Can you read that, man?
Yeah. This is Isaiah 2 and 2. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains,
Top of all the governments,
and shall be exalted above the hills,
which are the lesser governments,
and all nations shall flow unto it.
and all nations shall flow unto it. Because every nation shall flow unto the true Israelites once we get our power back from the Heavenly Father, which a lot of people don't believe, but it says it right there, so we believe it. That's the only hope that we have upon this planet Earth, because we have been robbed, raped, and murdered, and nothing happens to them. That's why the Lord is going to take care of that. But go on.
And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob.
To the house of the God of Jacob. Everybody's going to come to us to actually learn our ways, because now everybody goes to the so-called Caucasian. Why? They want to learn about Christmas. They want to learn about a bunny that lays eggs. They want to learn about reindeers that fly in the dead of the winter when everything is dead, and bring presents and stuff like that. These are the type of things that are being pushed up on the planet Earth, and everybody just goes along with it. Everybody knows their customs. Everybody wants to flow onto it, but that's going to be put to an end. The Lord said, everybody on the planet Earth is going to come and follow the God of Jacob, which are these people, the so-called Negros, Latinos, and Indianos. Until this day, we are being mocked. Die Zwarte Piet, for example. If I was to walk around with Nazi clothing, right, on the Jodenherdenkingdag, en ik had zo een Nazi logo zo, maar in een snorretje, en ik heil, en ik geef snoepjes aan de kinderen. Wat zouden ze met me doen?
Ja, dat is
Oké, maar datzelfde doen ze en ze zeggen, nee, dat kan je niet doen. Dat is racistisch. De Joden hebben geleden. What the fuck are you talking about? Slaves hebben meer dan, wacht even, 400 jaar, maar wacht even, het is 245 jaar in slavernij gezeten. Oké. Did you know that a quick death is better than 245 years of slavery? Because you got to come to it continually with the children and stuff like that, being raped in front of your eyes, your children, your wife, your babies. They even raping little babies in the church. How much more do you think they was raping our babies?
Ik snap wat je bedoelt.
Right.
Het enige voor mij persoonlijk,
Right.
ik snap, kijk, dat slavernij fucked up was in de Tweede Wereldoorlog. Oké, daarmee kan ik het eens zijn. Alleen, ik denk wat het emotionele verschil is voor veel mensen. Ik zeg niet dat ik het er per se mee eens ben dat dat het verschil er is. Ik leg alleen uit het verschil is wat ik zie, zeg maar. Is dat de Tweede Wereldoorlog wel een stuk recenter is. En dat voor veel mensen zijn dat hun opa en oma die verkeerde dingen hebben gedaan. En ik denk ook dat ik zeg niet dat ik dat niet heb, maar ik denk dat voor de blanke Nederlander, dat die zich schuldiger voelen over de Tweede Wereldoorlog dan over slavernij, omdat het recentelijker is.
Het is niet recent, want kijk, mijn opa's vader, hun waren slaven, dus...
Ja, nee, maar dat weet ik.
Juist.
Maar ik denk dat, ja.
Het is dat ding wat ik je net uit heb gelegd. If
Ja.
I was to walk around Hitler with the kid candies for the children, it would offend them. But when they do the same thing, it doesn't offend them because they don't get offended by that.
Maar
That's the point.
ik heb nog een vraag.
Right, wait, can I finish this? There's only 2 sentences.
Oké, yeah, do the 2 sentences. I'm sorry.
Right.
And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths, for out of Zion shall go forth the law,
The law shall go forth out of Zion, go on.
and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem.
Right, go on.
And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares,
They shall beat their swords into plowshares, meaning there shall go.
and their spears into pruning hooks.
Pruning hooks are things which you work, agriculture and stuff like that. Plowshares also go on.
Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore.
So it says, pardon, when the true Israelites are in the land, there shall no more be war. There shall not be war anymore. So this is one of the scriptures where we know that those people that live in that country right now, those are not the true Israelites. Because when the true Israelites come back in power, there's going to be world peace. So that's one of the scriptures that we know that it can't be that these people are the Israelites. And it also goes in the book of Deuteronomy to show you what the curses are that will fall upon the Israelites. But then I'm gonna let you have your question.
Oké. Je had het eerder... English or Dutch?
Wanneer?
Oké. Je had het eerder over een soort van black on black violence.
Ja.
En dat, nou ja, ik zelf zie dat als iets wat ontstaat door zeg maar de powers that be,
dit is
een
wat-
soort van
Divide and conquer.
zwarte mensen soort
Ja,
van
ja.
tegen elkaar opzet.
Ja?
En denk je niet dat soort van dat als jullie tegen de Joden gaan vechten, dat dat niet eigenlijk weer een soort van, want je gaat dan
Gaan
niet
niet-
echt achter de
We gaan
mensen.
niet tegen de Joden.
Oh, oké.
We gaan tegen iedereen.
Ja,
Dat is
oké.
een point. Maar hun hebben onze identiteit gestolen. Dus hun zijn de top target. Begrijp je dat?
Ja. En zijn jullie
Wij zijn Israëlieten. Kijk, er
dus
zijn...
is een subdeel van het
Nee.
christelijk?
Nee.
Oké.
Kijk, Jacob. Heb je van Jacob gehoord? You heard of Jacob? Jacob, his name was turned into Israel. So, if you are an Israelite, that means you come from his bloodline. Listen, men have sperm. They have boys and girls. They have the bloodline. A female doesn't have a bloodline. She is a result of a bloodline. Because a man has boys and girls in his nutsacks. And life comes from the man through the Heavenly Father. Why? Women don't give life, they give birth. Because your sperm is smart enough to find the womb and go sit in there, be all comfortable like a little kitten, just so squinting this, you weet wat katten doen zo.
Ja.
And then it grows in the woman, but it is the seed and the bloodline of the father. So I have to explain that because that's in the scriptures. Now you understand, you cannot be an Israelite if you are not of the bloodline of Jacob. You need to be of the bloodline of that man. Israelite is not a religion, it is a family. Give me that in Amos chapter 3, verse 2. Oh, you got it? Give me. No. Amos chapter 3, verse 2. This is not a religious book. The word religion means to restrain, hold back, and basically dumb down. Religion is man-made. The Bible is a book of laws, statutes, commandments, history, present, and future. That's what the Bible represents, and it's a book for a family. Read it. Read it. Amos 3 and 2. You can start at 1.
I have it, man.
Give me.
This is Amos 3 and 1. Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you, O children of Israel,
Children of Israel.
against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities.
So read that part again, the second verse.
You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities.
That's why the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Indianos went into slavery, because we were punished because we fought against the Heavenly Father by not listening to His commandments. And the Lord said in the book of Deuteronomy 28, verse 1, and then jump to 15.
Really know your Bible.
What's that?
Kent de Bijbel of is het
A
niet de
little
Bijbel?
bit. It
Ja,
is
het
the
is de
Bible.
Bijbel.
It is the
Je
Bible.
kan meelezen als je wil, man. Heb jij een Bijbel bij je?
Ik heb geen Bijbel.
Telefoon. Oh, oké.
Ik heb geen smartphone, sorry.
Oh, oké. Oh, jij bent zo'n type.
Ja,
Nee, maar dat is goed. Dat is
dat
heel
is mijn
goed.
manier van de powers that be vechten.
Nee, maar dat is goed, man. Dat is
Mag
heel
ik
goed.
wat vragen? Wat betekent dat dus dat je als vrouw niet...
Je hebt geen bloedlijn. Je bent een bloedlijn. Je krijgt wel kinderen en zo, maar die kinderen zijn van die man. Daarom vroeger, en het gaat altijd terug naar vroeger. Kijk, die moderne wereld nu is nonsens. Zoals een regenboog vertegenwoordigt LBG. Nee, dit doet het helemaal niet. De regenboog vertegenwoordigt dat de aarde niet meer vernietigd gaat worden door water. Dat geloofde iedereen voor 1960. Maar ongeveer in 1960 toen begonnen ze die homoseksualiteit te mengen met de Bijbel. Zodat je een regenboog kan associëren met homo's en zo. Dat is niet hoe het is. Dat is niet hoe het was. En dat is new speech. Dat is wat ze nieuw creëren en zo. Meerdere genders en al dat soort nonsens. Luister dan, je gaat mij niet brainwashen. Thou shalt not lie. Ik ga niet tegen je liegen dat je een man bent. Of een meisje bent als je een man bent. Dan ben ik spiderman. En als je het niet wil accepteren, heb je spiderfobie. Zie je hoe dom het is? Dus ik kan voor eindig doorgaan. Maar wat het is, hun hebben een delusional mindset waar ze jou mee in willen laten gaan. Dat trap ik niet in. Thou shalt not lie. Ik ga niet liegen tegen je. Je bent een meisje of je bent een jongen, klaar. Dus ik ga niet met zo'n persoon discussiëren. You're delusional. En Sodom and Gomorrah, the Heavenly Father didn't like it. Now you can do what you want. But once the Lord comes and lays his punishment down, then we're going to see if you're really that tough guy. You're not. Or that tough girl. You're not. Okay,
Deuteronomy 28:1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day.
Did you get that? To observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day. See, these are commandments. Go on.
That the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
So if we did everything that the Lord said, he would put us above all nations, but we didn't. So now we're the tail and the so-called Caucasian race is the head and all the other races are in between. For example, look how long our people are living in the Belmer. You don't see our people's stores because we don't have them. Because the Heavenly Father put a curse upon us whereby the slave descendants, they can't have actually prosperity. Why? Because we sinned against the Lord and therefore everything that we touch will be spoiled. And that's in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28. This is another chapter which shows you and proves to you that the people that live in Israel right now can never be the Israelites because their hands are very prosperous in everything that they do. The Bible said the Israelite, their hands will not be prosperous. Go to verse 15
Good. Verse 15.
and then read on.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power,
If you don't hearken, so if we listen, we would be on top of all the people upon the planet Earth. That don't sound like equality. And there is no equality. If a person tells you that there is equality upon the planet Earth, he's a liar. Why? Because if I have money, I can get away with a lot of things. But ken je Patrick Clever? Die voetballer? Okay. He had an accident where he killed a person, but they needed him to play in the kickoff, whatever thing. That football thing, that stupid soccer thing, running behind the ball. That thing. They needed him to play there. So you know what they did? They kind of swept it under the rug and basically they fined him and stuff like that, but still he didn't go to jail. So they needed him for that because he was rich. If he was a just normal person as me, he would be in jail. That's the power of money. There is no equality. If somebody tells you that there's equality, they're a liar. I can go to a country and they won't treat me good.
a good one. You have cousins, little cousins. Can they play with the children? Kunnen jouw kleine neefjes of jouw kleine neefjes spelen met de kinderen van Alexander? Vrienden zijn? Zou op de school gaan?
Ja, I guess, technisch gezien. Ja.
Denk je dat?
Met genoeg geld.
Precies,
ja,
maar
I
heb jij
guess.
genoeg geld?
Ehm,
Nee, je moet een bepaalde status hebben.
Ja.
Jij moet eigenaar zijn van Vattenfall of zoiets. En jouw kinderen gaan naar privéscholen. Dan kunnen ze misschien naar dezelfde scholen gaan. Maar dat gebeurt niet.
Yes.
Dus niemand is gelijk.
Dus het is geen equality.
mag ik nog een vraag stellen? Als ik te veel vragen
No,
stel,
don't worry,
maar
don't worry,
ik
don't
wil
worry.
gewoon leren.
Je hebt ook nog een vraag. Heb ik je vraag beantwoord van die vrouw en zo?
Nou, ik ben meer benieuwd dan of de vrouwen ook lager zijn.
Kijk, ik ga je een voorbeeld
Dat is
geven. The woman is the weaker vessel. Begrijp je wat dat betekent?
Ja.
Wat denk je dat dat betekent dan? Can you get that first Peter chapter 3?
Kan ik iets vragen?
Wait. Wat betekent dat dan?
Een weaker vessel?
Ja.
Letterlijk betekent dat gewoon minder.
Nee, dat heb ik niet gezegd. The weaker vessel betekent ze is zwakker. Dus, hoe denk je dat vrouwen vrijheid hebben gekregen? Wie heeft ze gegeven? Did they rise up together? Let's go in arms, yay!
Eigenlijk heb mannen het gegeven.
Oké, dus dat laat je al zien, so you don't have any. Let me explain it.
De suffragettes hebben het ook echt wel gewoon met aanslagen.
wat dan?
en zo. Suffragettes.
What is that?
Het is
The Amazonians?
vrouwenbeweging
The Amazonians?
in Engeland. En die hebben aanslagen gepleegd.
Right.
En daardoor hebben ze uiteindelijk vrouwenvisa gekregen.
Who told you that?
Zeg je?
Who told you that?
Ja, geschiedenisboeken.
No, that's the funny part, because in de geschiedenisboeken zeggen ze zo, Columbus discovered America. How can you that's like me discovering your car.
Oké, maar ik bedoelde niet per se geschiedenisboeken van school, maar zeg maar boeken over geschiedenis van
But
daarbuiten.
this is what I'm saying. In their books, they tell you that there's 72 genders. So there's a lot of things that is actually being misconstrued compared with reality. In reality, we know
Ik
that.
geloof niet dat vrijheid iets is wat iemand anders jou kan geven.
Juist, dat heb je goed gezien.
Ik geloof dat vrijheid iets is wat je moet nemen.
Oké.
Dus vrouwen hebben dat ook gedaan. Elke vrijheid die vrouwen hebben gekregen, hebben ze gedaan door of hun mannen te zeggen van yo, als jij nu niet
Juist.
dit doet, ga ik weg.
Juist.
Of door aanslagen te plegen ook. En dat is wel, ja, ik bedoel, aanslagen is een beetje, maar ik denk dat in sommige gevallen dat
Women did not do that. For nature,
ja.
women are actually not on a murderous tip.
Kan
They're
ik iets
act-
zeggen zo?
Maar ze hebben ook niet mensen vermoord, maar ze gingen winkels opblazen.
Kijk, weet je wat het is? Er is hier een
die
duidelijk
heeft de
verschil
weaker
tussen een man en een vrouw.
Ja.
We zeggen niet dat je een vrouw
Yes,
minderwaardig moet behandelen,
Or second
maar
greatest thing is
ze zijn wel zwakker. Waarom zijn de toelatingseisen voor een militaire dienst lager voor
You have
vrouwen
it.
dan voor mannen?
Wat voor feest is
Snap je wat
dat?
ik bedoel? Dus
Say it,
zouden wij vrouwen
Tell
laten
it.
vechten in de voorlinie van
He's gonna read it. He's gonna read it. He's gonna read it.
leger?
He's gonna read it. Hij gaat het zo meteen
Nee,
lezen.
dus er zijn
Hold it,
duidelijk
hold it.
bepaalde verschillen. Net zoals bijvoorbeeld, kijk, je kan niet dezelfde rechten ontlenen aan iemand die minder doet. Snap je wat ik bedoel? Als jij niet de baas bent van een bedrijf, dan is jouw verantwoordelijkheid sowieso minder toch?
Ja.
Dus dan houdt het ook in dat jij niet... Als jij naar je werk gaat, wij snappen dit wanneer we naar werk gaan. Als jij naar werk gaat, jij bent niet gelijk aan je baas. Maar dat betekent niet dat hij jou minderwaardig moet behandelen.
Snap je dat?
Snap je? Dus op werk zie je duidelijk dat er een hiërarchie is. Zo is het ook voor de hemelse vader.
Oké, maar dan
Tussen
nu.
man en vrouw.
Maar wat de society heeft gedaan, ze gaan females brainwashen. Dan ga je denken dat dat het is. Dat
Ja,
is
we
niet
zijn
wat het is.
onderdrukt en zo. Daar gaat het niet om.
Jij hebt een hele totale, jij hebt de mindset gekregen van een andere entity, basically. Want het zijn companies die die dingen pushen op mensen. Want heel veel vrouwen, als vrouwen werkelijk dat powerful zijn, hoe komt het dat als je naar Aziatische landen gaat, dat die vrouwen helemaal daar geen power hebben? Alle landen op de planeet Aarde, geen enkele vrouw heeft power, alleen maar in Europese landen. Als je naar Oost-Europa gaat, die vrouwen hebben geen power daar. Waarom? Die mannen zijn daar zijn gewoon de mannen. Vrouwen mogen bepaalde dingen niet doen en zo. Daarom wanneer je naar Zeedijk gaat, ken je het Red Light District? Alleen maar Bulgarije, Tsjechië, Hongarije, Russische females zijn allemaal daar zo. Waarom? Ze rennen weg van hun land en ze komen hier, want hier kan je vrij zijn. Maar als je naar Roemenië, oh ja, Roemenische chicks zijn ook daar. Maar als je naar Roemenië gaat, dan ga je toch weer die hierarchie zien van nee, die mannen zijn hier de baas vergeleken met vrouwen en zo. Als je naar Zuid-Amerika gaat, is het hetzelfde. Als je naar alle landen gaat, heel continent van Afrika, is the same thing. Heel continent van Azië en India vooral, is the same thing. En vooral de Arabische wereld en zo. Dus de meerderheid van de planeet Aarde, the women are the weaker vessel. They only can basically vote if a man says they can vote. But in the so-called Caucasian lands like Holland, America, England, then they can do things. You know what? Because the male behind them stands behind them and says you can do this. And I will enforce it by the law. And if they fight against you, I'm going to arrest them. That's how the females actually got the power to do anything. Because if you or any female here goes to, for example, Suriname or something like that, you're not going to get the rights that you think you get here.
Maar is power niet sowieso, is elke vorm van power niet sowieso iemand anders die zegt, zij heeft deze power, of jij hebt die power en ik zeg dat en ik ga dat enforcen bij de politie. Dus dat niet sowieso
Door de politie bedoel je?
Ja.
Yes, but that's still a man that doesn't. Because if he says, by law now, I want you to shut all stores and I'm going to give you a ticket if you don't, everybody's going to be so scared that they're really going to do
Dan
it.
zijn er sowieso maar 5 mensen.
Kan ik iets zeggen?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. The so-called 1%, those are the people that actually rule over the masses. And that's the point of me saying there's no equality. It's a lie that they feed you. Because when they send their children to school, they don't send their children to school to come and work in a store. They send their children to school to be a boss of a building like this, for example. We don't get those type of education and stuff
Business
like that.
models,
throughout.
stuff like that. They
We don't get those type of educations. You actually need to cough up $60,000 out of thin air, and then you need to go to college, and then you can actually work to be a boss or a manager in a place like this. But who is the guy that actually has the money to build something like this? They do. So there goes the point of being equal and not equal. It's not a bad thing. It's a thing of reality.
Can
You
I say
got-
something?
Wait. You gotta have a reality check concerning the truth and the lie. Give me that scripture. Give me that scripture. This is that scripture that you asked for. Wait.
First Peter 3 and 7.
Wait. Before let him read it. Let him write it. First Peter chapter 3 verse
7.
right. Okay, can you read it?
Likewise, ye husband, dwell with them according to knowledge.
Dwell with your wife according to knowledge. It's not like when you tell your wife like, hey, when I say jump and then she says how high. No, it's not about that. You treat your wife like how you treat yourself. You love your wife. The nonsense that they're trying to portray in the media and all that type of nonsense that you're oppressing your wife. No, because a woman, she loves actually to have a man above her. Why? She might think she doesn't, but she does. Most of the girls on the planet Earth, especially nowadays because they're loose, what do they want? Do they want a nice guy, or do they want a guy that actually is basically a so-called jerk? Most of the girls want that. Why? Because it's different from them. They're nice. And the word nice means foolish and stupid. Clumsy. Basically an idiot. Okay. That's a nice guy. Girls don't want a nice guy. Why? Because a nice guy looks like them. I mean, it's so feminine. I want a man. I want somebody that's rough. Puts lays me down. Oh. You know what I'm saying? If you don't believe it, girls actually they'll be like, just do like you're raping. Are you doing it? That's what they want because they kind of like it. It's in their nature. They don't understand why, but it's there. They don't really like nice guy because they're gonna see you as an equal, and then they're gonna shit on you. Once they see you as their equal, they conquered you. They'll be like, next. Waiter, give me the tab. Let him pay, by the way. And then they leave. They bounce. That's not really what they want. They want something that is opposite to them.
They can control.
Something that is opposite to them. That's what they fall for, and that is nature. That is how it's supposed to be. Men are normally bigger than women.
They need to protect the woman that they have. You
Yes.
understand? It's not only, hey, I have a woman, I'm over her. No,
Right.
I'm more important. No, you have to protect her. You have to provide for her.
Right.
You make sure that she has enough
Yes.
food, clothing, shelter, things like that.
So
man.
we don't do the things that the media wants to brainwash you
Like these
into,
Arabs,
into
though,
doing.
that's over the top, man.
Can I ask a question? What verse did you read before this? You
For
read
this?
the verse. You read the verse before
About what does
the first one you read.
Isaiah 2
Isaiah 2.
from the top until verse 5. Can I say something also? Like the whole thing about this feminism stuff, right? They didn't give women how do you say that, rights to empower women. They gave women rights so that they can tax the other half of the society.
Population.
Because back then only men were paying tax. So what did they?
Before you go on,
Yeah.
back in the days, men, they had two cars, one for them, one for his wife. They had a house with a white picket fence, all that there, and they could still provide for the children, buy PlayStation and stuff like. Well, not PlayStation, but you know, all these equipments. And he had enough money. Now the woman started working. Now they can't even afford one car together. So you see how they messed up the whole system. But anyway, go on.
Look, so
But isn't that also just because, like, back then, only a very small portion of the population, because there were people in the houses with the white picket fence, but it was only basically like rich white people.
Yeah, no. And normal white people too. There were no bums. Nowadays we just see
I
Kosovo.
mean, you definitely had
No, they were not. They were not.
they were crazy. You had crazy people that were
Yes.
born crazy, but you didn't have back then. You didn't have drugs and stuff like that. Like now, man. You understand? So that wasn't in the society. What I was trying to
Go back
say
to the story, yeah?
is they didn't give women, they didn't empower women to give the woman rights, to empower them, they gave them rights so that they would think that they also had to work. That's why they pit the man against the woman, so that they can start thinking that they're lesser, and then they want to fight for their rights, and then go into society and work. And now the elites could tax the other half of society.
And there are more women than
So
men.
now they have not only men paying tax, also the women. So now they had double the tax, and and eventually they also took the money off the gold standard, but that's something else. And they also wanted to break up the family,
And that's
so that woman wasn't making children from a young age, like 14, 15, 16. And they would work, then they would continue to work until like 30, and around when the time that their biological clocks start ticking, then they would make children. But back in the days, that they knew that wasn't right, because the more how do you say that?
the older you get, the weaker the children are.
The older you get, the weaker the children are, and also how do you say that? No, look, the woman has then put a lot more years into work and tax money for the elites.
For the elites, yeah.
You understand? And the more they go against each other, the more how do you say that?
wanna break it?
Society. Yeah, they wanted to break down society. You understand? That's what they're doing right now.
Wait, can you finish this?
Oh,
Only this
yeah,
verse?
sorry.
Read this verse. From the top again. Yeah.
Likewise, ye husband,
Call it and read it.
1 Peter 3 and 7.
Right.
Likewise, ye husband, dwell with them according to knowledge,
Read above.
6.
One verse above. Yeah.
even as Sarah obeyed Abraham.
Sarah obeyed Abraham. So everybody that thinks that they need to marry with the Bible in hand, according to the Bible, a man is allowed to have multiple wives. That's not what she's going to actually accept. But you know how she will accept it? If I was rich. If I had the money of Michael Jackson, not his allegations, but just his money, and I had a building of 10 females,
Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber. Let me give
Everyone loves Justin Bieber.
Everybody loves Justin Bieber.
I kind of still love Michael Jackson, like,
Okay.
apart from the fucking
Right.
shit.
Me too. But anyway, you have 5 on the left and 5 on the right. If I had the money and status and fame of Michael Jackson's minus the nonsense, and I would tell all 10 of them, I want from all 10 of you, I want a baby. And I want multiple babies with all of you. And I'll buy houses for all of you, and I'll set you up for life. All of them would raise their hand, yes, I want it. Why? Because a woman, they desire, it's in their DNA. It's in their spirit. They desire stability. They desire a comfortable life. They love living comfortable. They love it. They love it. A man, you don't see a lot of homeless women. No.
There's always someone
They-
taking care of them.
There's always someone taking care of them. Me personally, back in the day, I'm not going to talk too much, but if I saw a girl that ran from the internaat, je weet of ze rennen soms weg, come sleep with me. They're going to have a home. They're going to have a girl. It doesn't matter how you don't see a fine looking, like a real pretty chick digging in the garbage can for food. A guy with a Ferrari is just going to stop. Hey, come here, come sit here. I got some food for you. She jump right in the car. Then she's married and now she has kids and stuff. That's what happens to girls. They're always being helped. So, if I had the status and money of Michael, I could have all 10 women and I move them out of there and all of them would agree. But then, let a girl do that. She has the status of whatever, Beyonce, Jennifer Lopez, whatever. And that money. And then she comes to men. 5 in the left and 5 in the right. Je weet wat die gebouwen met 5 portieken, 10 portieken, 5 links, 5 rechts, okay? Then now she would say, I want from all 10 of you, I want a child. 2 of the 10, so 8 of them, so 2 of the 10 might say like, oh yeah, why? Or the guy is gay, or he doesn't really care about her. All other 8, they would say, hell no. I'm not gonna let my wife be plowed by another guy. Even if you buy me a house, you can buy me anything you want. I don't want my wife getting plowed by some other guy. I don't want that. I don't want that.
Men are not jealous but territorial.
Yes.
You understand?
A man will not want that. A real man, a real heterosexual man, he would not want that. Even if it's his side chick. You know what a side chick is, right? A girl that you don't really want to be with, but you just want to hang around with her and do things, cute things, right? But the funny part is, if she now finds another man, you're already angry. And then she would be telling you like, wait a minute, you have a wife and kids and stuff like that. But yeah, but you don't do it. What you doing? I thought we had an agreement. Sneaking around is agreement, right?
I call it misogyny.
Yes, that's what a man is. He doesn't like it. Even if his girl, even if he has 3 girls and he loses one of the 3, he's still angry. So it's not about what the media tries to actually brainwash you, because a lot of Islam females that live here in Holland, they want to put the thing on their head. They want to be submissive to their men. So it's not a brainwash thing. It's a self-desiring thing. So can you finish that? Can you finish it? 6.
Calling him Lord,
Calling him Lord. That's what Sarah did. Go on.
whose daughter ye are,
Whose daughter she are, right?
as long as you do well
As long as you do well.
and are not afraid with any amazement,
What, give me the
Amazement.
amazement. Likewise, ye husband, dwell with them according to knowledge,
according to knowledge, which is the biblical knowledge,
giving honor unto the wife,
giving honor unto the wife
as unto the weaker vessel,
as unto the weaker vessel. So you honor her for a simple fact that she is the weaker vessel. Would you want a manly bitch? Oh yeah, lay down. Do you want that? You don't want that. You want you a little
Grab
tiny
you by your hair.
You're wrong.
Slap you in the face.
You be like, oh my God, that's so cute. And you run off with her. That's what you do. You look around and somebody sees you, you snatch her up. You run away. That's what you want to do because he's cute. Oh my goodness. Look how cute. Oh,
Patting
you
her.
want to touch her. You don't want a big dude, manly like dude. Hey, you want to touch me? You don't want that, man. Because she's the weaker vessel, it's very attractive. Because if she's stronger,
Feminine.
if she's stronger than you, you don't want that. You'd be like, nah, it's not my type. Next. But that's the point. You honor her because she's the weaker vessel, and you treat her like as if you would treat your own.
Also, if you found her as a virgin, and all of a sudden you say that she wasn't a virgin, right? And
Get your ass
and
whooped.
you could get your ass beat very bad, man.
Can you
And
get
you would
that
also pay the fine. So that's how the way you honor.
I made a
a
video
woman,
about
man.
that the
This is
other
not. This is not about being bossing women around, man. This is just how the Heavenly Father wants it to be, so that there's order in society, so that you don't have degeneracy going on. Now, you know what the thing is with this homosexual agenda also, with LGBT. We understand there's homosexuals, but their argument is basically they were born like that, right? So basically, pedophiles can say the same thing. I'm born this way. You understand? I'm born this way. I like little children. Where do you draw the line? You understand? So that's basically the reason we have to follow this book, so that society stays in check. You know.
Now, I'm gonna show you the thing about the virgins also. You should not lie on a virgin, especially according to the Bible in the ancient way. So we're just reading what it says about the scriptures. We don't do that when I say jump, you say how high, or give me push-ups and stuff like that. It's not about that. If your girl, for example, let's say, see this? You see that clothing over there? Okay. If your girl wants to go to the club dressed like that, and she wants you to just chill in the house, you should tell her like, no, you ain't going nowhere. Why? She should actually listen to you. But nowadays, they're not going to listen to you. But I'm going to give you according to the scriptures. Why would you think as a man it would be not good for her to dress like that and go to the club? Why do you think you don't want that? Because you know how men think. You know what they want to do when they see her. They're gonna want to, and you don't want that because it's your place. It's mine. It's like have you seen Lord of the Rings? It's mine. The thing. Right? That's her. That's you. That's your precious, right? You don't want your precious to be stared at by other guys with a magnifying glass,
Bunch of wolves,
looking
man.
at her nipples like, oh, you want to fight. But that's the point. You're very protective of the thing that you love. And that is how it's supposed to be. You have evil jealousy, which is not good, but then you have the righteous jealousy, which is you're rightfully jealous of what you love. You have the other evil jealousy, which is you don't trust her. You call her all the time. Hey, where you at? That's actually not good. You should let her go. And if she really wants to actually beat that adulterous demon, then she's gonna do it anyway. So you can just tell her like, hey, listen, man, if you don't want to be with me no more, Just tell me so that we can split. You don't have to go behind my back and do something with a guy and then come back to me and then I'm now doing something with you, because that's filthy. Because you don't know what kind of fluids she has in her mouth from that guy. And I heard semen stays in the mouth for like what, few days? So let's say the guy shoots some semen in the mouth. And then she comes around, she brushes her teeth, whatever. She comes, she doesn't even, so some of them even don't even brush their teeth after that. She comes and then she kisses you on the mouth. Especially if you find out about it, you're gonna want to hit her. Because now she made you a homosexual. Yeah, and you don't want that. She just made you. She just.
Before I go,
Yeah.
I want to ask you. You read the verse about the way Israel.
The way
Yeah.
what?
The
Oh,
way
Revelation 2 and 9. And
Oh.
Revelation 3 and 9.
Revelation 2 and 9, and also Revelation 3 and 9.
Also read Deuteronomy
2 and 9?
Yeah,
2 and 9.
yeah.
And also 3 and 9. So chapter 3 verse 9, and also chapter 2 verse 9.
Stay blessed.
And
Hey,
also
have a nice
read
day.
Deuteronomy 28.
28.
Talking
Yeah.
about the curses that's on our people.
Right. Then you can see who the Israelites are.
Thank you, Lord.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you. Stay blessed.
Yes.
Yeah, have a nice day.
Okay,
Right.
I have a question
Right.
for all of you. Has any of you read Chomsky?
The what though?
Chomsky.
Well, I don't know what that
Okay,
is.
so please, like, do me a favor and read his stuff. It's kind of really dry, and he has Jewish parents. He's not a practicing Jew himself. But apart from that, I think it's really like the stuff you're talking about. Like, I agree with some stuff, I don't agree with some stuff. But it's all
That's
good.
natural. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, you don't agree with everything that happens in the movie, but you still like it.
Yeah, but I think like because you're talking about the powers that be, and to me it sounds like you're kind of looking at it as an organization.
It is. But go on.
I personally do believe that like they have the power, and it like the difference isn't that big. But I think the way it works is like a body, and like the eye is not aware of the toe. I mean, if you look
With
at
them?
it, it
With
is.
them? What do you mean with them? As a people?
I mean, like, I think the power structures in our society were formed by a bunch of people acting to their own best interest.
Do you know what government? Sorry.
I don't think society was designed. I think it just
Morphed into?
happened like that.
Do you know what democracy means?
Yeah,
What does it mean?
it's the people's, the power of the people.
It means to govern over the few elites govern over the people. Let me get the etymology of the word, because I was going
word
into this word.
government.
No, the word democracy in the etymology. Demos means people, right? Demos means people. Wait, I'll get it. I have a.
My friend is, she has to be.
Oh, I see. She's calling. Democracy.
But I mean, I am kind of one of the people you're fighting against. But
What do you mean?
more power to you as a white person, I guess.
Well,
It's not
the thing
one
is
of the
this.
Israelites.
We're starting at the elites. You see the random actual people, the average people,
Yeah.
they don't even know what the hell's going on concerning our people. And they don't really care. Our fight is actually with the powers that shouldn't be.
Yeah.
They say the powers that be, well, we call them the powers that shouldn't be.
I like that.
That's actually what they really are. Because what they're doing is
Please
this.
read Chomsky, by the way, all of you. I really think if you want to learn about the world and want to learn like about power structures, it's dry as fuck, but it will open like your mind to the world.
Okay, I'm gonna read the word democracy. Governed by the people, system of government in which the sovereign power is vested in the people as a whole, exercising power directly or by elected officials. So let me read it again.
Yeah.
Governed by the people, right? System of government in which the sovereign power is vested in the people as a whole, exercising power directly or by elected officials, a state so governed. So it goes into the word from demos, which is democracy, from demos, common people, originally district, and the other word is kursi. And the word kursi, from democracy, means word forming, element forming, nouns meaning rule or governed by. So, democracy is actually a bunch of people ruling over the rest. But you think you have the freedom to actually vote and stuff like that? No, you don't. They have the power to actually play around with the elections. And that's what they have been doing for decades upon decades. Did you know that the Illuminati was the people, the common people wanted to kill them, and then they had to go into the hiding. And then they started to actually move from the shadows, and now they're back in the open, and now they're so powerful because they bribe people. They're so powerful that if you say anything against them, basically, on a level, if you're an insider, you'd be dead. Look at Julian Assange. Look at Edward Snowden. Look at you have a lot of these people, they end up dead. Don't even know their name. John Todd. Have you heard of John Todd? He actually exposed the Illuminati and their hand in magic, which is Satanism, and the music industry. That's why you have a lot of blood sacrifices and stuff like that. He's the one that actually brought it out. You have Fritz Springmeier. They accused him of rape, but this guy, you be like, man, he didn't rape no damn girl. You just said he did because you wanted him in jail. Julius Assange is also accused of rape. Everybody, John Todd is also accused of rape. They locked him up and now he's basically dead. Not basically, he's dead. But he just disappeared for a while and all of a sudden he reappeared and then he was dead. So you have these whistleblowers that are actually speaking the truth, that are insiders, because the scripture says that they make their own tongue to fall upon themselves, and then they end up dead. There's so many. There's so many people that are just dead from just speaking the truth that were actually a part of these people, and then they found out like, oh no, these people are too satanic for me. Then they go to the churches, they reform their life, and before you know it, they're dead. But before they die, they still get to actually spread out this truth, so that people like us, the common folks, can actually, take it, learn, and then spread it on further. That's how it goes, word of mouth. Back in the days, you had people standing on the corner screaming, extra, extra, read all about it. You know that? Okay. Nowadays, we have the internet to do that work for us. Because back in the days, you only had a certain time that you can actually meet these people. You wouldn't meet them 1800 in the middle of the street screaming extra. You would only meet them in the morning. That's when the newspaper was handed out. Nowadays, you're on the internet. You can't sleep. You wake up 3 o'clock in the morning. That's demon hour, by the way. You wake up 3 o'clock in the morning. You have nothing to do. You just click on the internet. You don't have the internet. Right. Basically, and then you can actually feed off of the news and stuff like that. So there are a lot of things, And did you know that you weet toch die Amish? Did you know that the Amish are Dutch?
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're Dutch.
Oh.
So you just actually, you would fit in right there. Yeah. The Amish are Dutch.
I mean, I guess.
Heb je
Yeah.
kleren gezien wat ze aantrekken?
Ja,
Dat zijn Nederlanders die daar zijn gegaan. Weet je, kijk.
Van
Breukelen.
Volendam en zo, die
Juist,
kleding
dat
toch?
toch. Weet je wat Breukelen is?
Ja.
Brooklyn.
Ja.
Weet je wat Detroit is? Dordrecht.
Ja.
Weet je wat New York is? New Amsterdam. Dus je hebt Utah. Utah is Utrecht.
We hebben veel gekoloniseerd.
Juist. Dus heel veel van die dingen die daar zo zijn eigenlijk van Nederland, zijn eigenlijk van Spanje.
Ja, eigenlijk zijn ze natuurlijk van de
Ze zijn van hier.
Americans.
Juist. Nee, maar niet daarvoor natuurlijk. Dat weet ik wel. Dat weet ik ook. En die zijn ook a part of our people.
Yeah.
And the Heavenly Father is also going to avenge them. Why? Because of the things that they have been through. Because the so-called Jews, they lost about what? They say 6 million. The Native American lost over 600 million. The slaves lost over, only the boat ride over there was over 100 million. Yet alone the things that they did unto them there. Because a lot of so-called white people, they say, yeah, but you sold yourselves and stuff like that. No, we didn't. It was actually two different tribes, two different nations that sold us. The Africans are not our people. You have the West Africans, they are our people, but let me simplify it. It's like this. If the so-called Caucasian people were so righteous, then they would buy the slaves from the Africans, and then they would bring them to America and set them free. They didn't. They raped, robbed, murdered them for over 230, 40, 45 years. And the Dutch, they went 10 extra years further. So they did 255, right? So if they bought them and then set them free, it wouldn't be bad. But they bought them and then tortured the shit out of them. That's even worse. So, what would be worse? Being sold? Because a lot of so-called Caucasian people say, yeah, but you sold yourself. Y'all sold each other. Okay, let's say that was the truth. Then why didn't you buy us and then set us free or help us? No, you furthered the hatred. And you know why the hatred is there? It goes back to the Bible. See, the hatred that the so-called Caucasian, have you never asked yourself, like, why do these motherfuckers hate black people so much? Why? What they do to you? What they do to you? It goes into the Bible what we did. Our ancestor, Jacob, and the ancestor of the Caucasian race is Esau. Have you heard of Jacob and Esau? Okay, Esau is the twin brother of us. That's why in the world, everybody wants to live like the so-called white man, but they want to be like the so-called black man. They want to do the things that we do, but they want to live in the fancy houses and stuff like that, have the fancy cars, fly the fancy airplanes and stuff like that, you know, have the fancy type of clothing and stuff like that, you know. They want that, but they want to live like us. They want to have our spirit. They want to do the things that we do. Who made James Brown rich? That was a bad slavery time type of thing. Post after slavery, but still, our people still was getting lynched left and right. Who made James Brown rich? We didn't have no money. So-called, okay. Who made the Jimi Hendrix rich? So they love what we do, but they don't love us as a people. You got to understand, where does the hatred come from? It comes because we stole. First and foremost, they sold. Do you want to know where the so-called white race come from? And that actually you are a twin brother. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
The so-called Caucasian race is the twin brother of the slave descendant race. The so-called Negros, Latinos, and Indianos. The twin brother of them, our ancestors, are twins. Read it.
This is
Genesis 25 and started 20 and
Okay. Also, after this one.
yeah, you gotta go. I know.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm sorry.
No, don't worry.
What's your name?
Kazak.
Gazak?
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Gazak. And what's your name?
Jammer.
Yam. Okay, thank you. And Natanya Allah.
Yashar.
Huh?
Yashar.
Yashak. Okay, nice to meet you. And
Tasayat.
sorry?
Tasayat.
Dasayat.
Okay.
Okay.
Read
Beautiful
from,
names.
Read from 19 until 32.
This is Genesis 25 and 19. And these are the generations of Isaac.
Now you're gonna see where the so-called Caucasian race comes from through the Bible. Go on. Because a lot of people ask themselves, like, everybody came from Africa. No, we didn't. Everybody comes from actually it was actually Israel. But then it spread out, and then the flood came, and then everybody was reborn again. Not reborn, made again and stuff like that. But that's a whole different story. I'm gonna talk longer if I have to go on that. Can you go on?
Yeah, this is Genesis
This is after the flood, of course.
25 and 19. And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begat Isaac.
You know what generations are, right? Yeah. Right? So it's always about the man giving forth the seed, right? Because the woman comes from the man, not the man from the woman. The woman comes from the man, right? What?
And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel the Syrian of Padan Aram, the sister of Laban the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him.
Did you understand that? She was barren. She couldn't get a baby. So Isaac started praying to the Lord, like, please can you help her? Like, I want my wife to, get a baby. What?
God. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived.
So now the Lord listened, and he was like, okay, I like it. I'm going to make her pregnant. What?
And the children struggled together within her.
So she was pregnant, and now the babies were fighting in her womb. What?
And she said, if it be so, why am I thus?
If I'm really blessed, why are these children fighting within me? Okay? Before they was even born. Go on.
And she went to inquire of the Lord,
She went to a priest and she asked, like, why are these children fighting in my belly? They're fighting. Go on.
Okay. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb,
2 nations are in thy womb. That doesn't mean like a bunch of 1,000,000,000 people are in the womb. That means one man will sprout one nation and another man will sprout another nation. Right? Go on.
Okay. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
2 manner of people shall be separated from your womb, from when they come out.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people,
Right?
and the elder shall serve the younger.
So the one people shall be stronger than the other, and the elder shall serve the younger. The one that is born first, he will actually be a servant to the second one that will be born second. But it says one people is stronger than the other. Who is stronger than you, do you think? The so-called black race or the so-called white race?
I mean, depends on what way you look at it, I guess.
Mentally, physically.
Okay, then probably black.
Okay, because mentally, if you beat a so-called Caucasian child, when he grows up, he's going to be a serial killer.
School shooting.
School shooting and shit like that. We have been beaten for nearly 255 years. You don't really see black serial killers and stuff like that. You don't they're not here. But if you beat a young child, especially a boy, when he's young, he's going to murder kids and murder women and shit like that, or just go buck walk crazy because he can't take it. Or when he loses his job, he just jump out of buildings. That's what they do. But we have been losing our jobs. We have been losing so many things. We don't really kill ourselves like
I
that.
lost many jobs.
Yeah. We don't really kill ourselves like that, right? Mentally, we're stronger. Physically, we're stronger. But you have how you call that? There's sundering and stuff like that. You have those
Exceptions.
things. Exceptions. But a lot of those people are not white. Like the Irish, Conor McGregor, he's not white. Because according to the Bible, you are what your father is. Let's say the Italians are also not white. A lot of Sicilians. For example, if I get a white girlfriend right now and I make a child with her, that child would not look like me, right? Okay. And if he must be a boy, if he gets another white girlfriend, let's say a blondie, they get a child. My grandson would not look like me anymore, right? And if my grandson will then get another white chick, my grandson, his child would definitely not look like me, but it's still my sperm. You know how? The seed that came out of me when I made it with the Caucasian female, which is my sister, but I made a child with her, right? I made a child with her, right? That child is my sperm. It's my duplication. It's my clone. And my clone is now grown up, and he has children of his own sperm in his body. And now he picks a wife, and that child will grow up, but that grandchild is still my sperm. Because my sperm turned into a man, and then he made a child, and then his sperm turns into a man, and then he made a child, and his sperm turns into a man. The 4th generation is still my sperm. So it keeps on being me. So therefore, Conor McGregor is not a so-called Caucasian man because our people. Did you know that the Irish also went into slavery? You know why? Why would a Caucasian person hate another Caucasian? Because you know how they call the Irish the niggas of Europe. Why? Because they know that we had sex with the white women, and then there were no dark-skinned men more to actually procreate, so they stayed so-called white. And that's the same thing with the Italians. That's why when you have a lot of Italians, you see them looking, they kind of get tan. Where does it come from? Because the North Italians, they have blue eyes and yellow hair. They're not a lot of them are not our people. But the Sicilians, when you look at them, you'd be like, hey, it's weird.
Some have afros even.
Some have afros, some have, most of them have black hair and dark brown eyes, and the most of them can get kind of tan. That's because our blood was in there because we were the Moors, and we basically, what the Moors did, they went into Sicily, they killed all the white men, and then they had sex, they raped them, and then they had sex with all the white females, all of them. And all of them, 100% of them, and that's why you have you seen the movie True Romance from Quentin Tarantino?
I have not. I've seen all other Quentin Tarantino films except that.
If you see that one, he will explain to you what happened in that movie. You will see that the Sicilians are spawns of us. You should watch it one time, but can you finish it because I know you gotta go?
Yeah, I don't
Can you
think
finish
so.
it? No, wait, he has to go. Finish it.
Okay. And Isaac entreated the Lord of his wife because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him, And Rebekah his wife conceived, and the children struggled
Go to
together
23,
within her.
23.
23. And the Lord said unto her, Two nations are in thy womb, two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb.
Twins.
And the first came out red,
First came out red. That's the elder.
all over like an hairy garment.
And you know who that was? No, it was the Caucasian. You know why? Because you're not white, you're red. Look at yourself. You're actually red. Especially when the sun hits you. This is white and this is black. You see, we're not black neither. That's a lie play on word that the world is actually accepting right now, because back in the days, black is a color. It's not a race. White is the absence of color, but it's not a race. You have a nation that is called Edom and Esau. And then you have a nation that is called Israel because it comes from one man. And Esau, his generations, he made then the Edomites. And Israel made then the Israelites. We are not black and white. It's actually the red people upon the planet Earth, pinkish, whatever you want to call it. And then you have the different shades of brown. Because if you look at my color, it could be the same color as the earth, the brown, right? Then you have deep dark brown, which is deeper in the earth and stuff like that. So you have different shades of earth, skinned people. So we're dirty, not filthy. It's the difference. We're dirty people. We are the same color as the dirt, just like Adam. Can you go on?
Okay. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, and the first came out red all over like an hairy garment.
That's the fuck. Can you get that poster?
And they called his name Esau.
They called his name Esau. Why? And Esau means wasted away. What is wasted away? It's spitting. That's why you have a lot of people in their nature, a lot of so-called Caucasian people, in their nature, they want to hit the tanning salon. But they're so racist that they don't say browning, they say tanning. That's racist. Want ze zeggen zo, ik ga een tintje zetten. Waarom zeg je gewoon niet, ik wil een beetje bruin zijn? Nee, dat wil je niet. Want die haat is er toch? Dus, I know how they think. I talk to a lot of them. And some of them are truthful, some of them just lie. And then I tell them the truth. No, with the Jacob and Esau. No, with the Jacob and Esau.
Oh, shit.
Anyway, so, go.
Okay. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel,
Right.
and his name was called Jacob.
Right.
And Isaac was 60 years old,
This is Jacob.
and she bare them.
This is Jacob, and this is Esau. And when a red baby comes out, this is how they look, red. And this is the hand of the little brown Jacob that held on his heel. Because when our people come out, they have blood too, but they're not red. The so-called Caucasian people are red when they're born, and also when the sun hits them. That's why they call them rednecks. Go on, because she just looked at a watch.
Oh no, I had a text.
Oh, okay.
And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel.
Okay, jump to 31.
31. And Jacob said, Sell me this
No,
day.
30.
30. And Esau said to Jacob,
Wait, sorry. 28.
28. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. And Jacob sought pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint.
Right.
And Esau said to Jacob, Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage.
So they were not grown. So Esau, he was a hunter. So he said he came from the field. He didn't catch no food to hunt. And then he said to his brother Jacob, he said, Jacob was making some food, and he said, "Can you give me that food?" And then this is what Jacob did.
Good. And Esau said to Jacob, Feed me, I pray thee, with the same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. And Jacob
Edom means red because he loved red pottage, and also his skin was red.
till
So-
this day,
until-
white people like to eat their steak
blood.
medium rare.
That's one of the reasons that you have that, because you have so trekken van je vader. I have things in my father that I didn't even know. Of course, found out. But the funny thing is that people, they actually said like, "Hey, you do the same thing as you." I didn't know that. But that's the funny part. You do something that you don't even know that you're doing, but you actually have it from your father. Sorry, go ahead.
And Esau said to Jacob, Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint.
Right.
Therefore was his name called Edom.
Right.
And Jacob said, Sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, Behold,
sell me this day thy birthright. So, according to the Bible, the one that is born first has the upper the privilege of having firstborn birthright and stuff like that.
Gets a double
Everything,
portion.
he gets a double portion of everything that his father has, and then he gets it.
Inheritance.
But this day, Jacob was like, I see he's hungry. I'm gonna supplant him. Give me your birthright and I'll give you this food. And then Esau did this. Go on.
Come. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die. And what profit shall this birthright do to me?
Right?
And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he sware unto him. And he sold his birthright unto Jacob.
For a piece of meat. Raw meat that was not even really fixed up. And then, so he sold it. He wanted it this week.
Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils. And he did eat and drink and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his
So
birthright.
he didn't even, despise doesn't mean hate. Despise means to look down. This means look down, and spy goes to come to specter. This is weer een specter. This is gewoon kijken. Dus you look down on a person, right? So he sold the birthright, and then here it says Genesis 27 and 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said, wait, let me start at 36, sorry. Genesis 27 and 36. And he said, is he not, no, I need to start at 34, sorry. Genesis 27 and 34. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me, also, O my father. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety and had taken away thy blessing. And he said, so Esau said, is not he rightfully named Jacob? For he had supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he had taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. That's why the so-called Caucasians rule everything upon the planet Earth, because of the blessing of our father Isaac. It says, behold, thy dwelling, so everywhere the Caucasian people dwell, shall be the fatness of the earth, meaning they have all the riches upon the planet Earth, all the great locations and stuff like that. When you go to the so-called third world countries, you see all broken shit. Ben je al op vakantie geweest naar Brazilië of zo?
Vader
Ja,
zeker of zo
bijna.
wel.
Ben je nooit op vakantie geweest? Buiten Nederland?
Niet buiten Europa.
Niet buiten Europa? Dus dan kan je niet echt naar die dieren kijken. Als je die dieren ziet van de third world landen en zo, dan ga je zien hoe skinny ze eruit zien. En dan zie je die honden hier en denk zo, damn, y'all eating good. The white people are feeding these dogs and shit. Wow. You know what I'm saying? But the point is that they have the fatness of the earth, right? So it says here, and by thy sword thou shalt live and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. So, het is een ancient story van Cain en Abel. Het is weer herleid met Jacob en of Esau en Jacob. Dus wat er is gebeurd is, tot de dag van vandaag, the so-called Caucasian race, he wants to murder Jacob. Why? Because of the blessing, the birthright that we took from him. By giving him food, we exchanged it, and then we stole his blessing. So, since this day, he has it in his heart. As soon as he sees us, he hates us, and they don't even know why.
I got a precept.
But the elites know.
This is Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5. Because thou hast a perpetual hatred and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword.
And it says here that his blessing would be Genesis 27 and 40, and by thy sword thou shalt live. Who went around, rape, rob, murder, Canada, rape, rob, murder, North America, Middle America, South America, continent van Africa, World War I, World War II, Australia, World War over there, Asia War, Hiroshima and Nagasaki bomb over daar getrapt. They wage war in Russia. They wage war in how you call
India
it?
also.
India.
For opium.
India for opium. Vietnam.
China also.
And then wage war on the Middle East right now.
Indonesia.
So Indonesia also. So the Caucasian race has used his sword. Hij heeft met alle rassen op de planeet aarde zitten vechten. En hij heeft voor alle rassen een racistische woord gevonden. Nigger speak, tonto. Alle woorden hebben hun gemaakt. Waarom? Daadheid. Waarom? Omdat het teruggaat naar die boze geest wat hij heeft. Nu weet je waarom the so-called Caucasian race hates us. But obviously you don't hate us, not yet. Not yet. But a lot of them, they don't like us. Okay? Nu kan je een beetje snappen waarom dat eigenlijk is. Hun weten het niet. Het is gewoon iets in die ziel dat ze hebben gekregen van hun voorvader. Net als hoe jij misschien iets doet, wat je opa deed of zo, of wat je vader doet, dan moet je moeder een keertje vragen zo. Because when your mother met your father, you wasn't there. So she knows the type of things that your father did. You know, that maybe he liked to smoke cigarette with, his pinky or something like this, like, and then all of a sudden you start doing it too, and she looks at you, she's like, you're just like your father. Hasn't your mother ever told you like you're just like your father in something? There you go.
Yeah.
Because you get something from your father, right? A lot of times the daughter gets something from her mother, but you can get something from your mother too. And the daughter can get something from her father too. The point is that a lot of things are inherited, including the hatred, within the soul of an individual person, which goes back to the traits of their forefathers. So yeah, did you know that that's your second cigarette? You really need that? That shows you, did you know that that thing is actually not good? You know that, right?
I'm aware.
Okay, so the point is, you know why you're so addicted to it? You know that that thing is more addictive than cocaine? You know why?
Sugar is even.
Yeah, that's true. That's worse. But you know why I said it's more addictive than cocaine?
I know the biological aspect.
You don't need to sniff coke every 15 minutes or every 30 minutes. That's why it's more addictive than coke. Because you just lit up a cigarette like I think it was 20 minutes ago. Now you're smoking another one again. That shows you that there are over 7,000 chemicals in a cigarette, and it used to be 4,000, more over 4. Now there's over 7,000 chemicals in a cigarette, and one of them is cyanide. The other one is pig's blood. The filter is varkens bloed. Wist je dat? Wist je dat? You need to look up what is in cigarettes. Then you will see cyanide. Do you know what cyanide is? It kills people. So, yeah.
Okay.
But
We really have to
you really gotta go.
Thank
You need
you
to
very
talk to her
much.
about that cigarette.
Yeah, I will.
You smoke? You smoke?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
At
I
least,
thought I was getting away, but if you ask, then I'm not gonna lie.
so you can't tell her nothing there. That would be hypocritical. She would
But
just smoke the cigarettes in your
I can
face.
save her
What did you say?
responsibility.
It's cool.
Hey, have a nice
Have a
day.
nice day. Let's go. Let's go. Right. So,
It's kind of funny because now you're moving to the left.
yeah.
Normally you move to the right.
Not to cut you off.
Not.
That's a jersey. I thought it was a tank top.
I thought it was a tank top, and he's wearing it. No, he doesn't. It was a tank top. Tank top. Underwear. You shouldn't wear underwear.
You know the tank top is under the shirt.
Yeah. Tank top. Maak geen tank top. Is onderbroek. Je mag geen onderbroek hebben. En een t-shirt is eigenlijk ook underwear.
T-shirt?
Is eigenlijk ook underwear. because you wear it under something else, right?
I think zo voel dat ik altijd lange mouwen draag.
Ja, ik wist het ook
Ik
niet,
wist
maar
het niet
nu
eens,
weet ik
maar
waarom ik altijd lange mouwen heb.
Ja, ja.
Now I know why I always have long sleeves because a t-shirt is actually underwear. Look, what they're wearing is actually something that you wear in the bedroom. She's actually wearing something that you wear in the bedroom. That's what she's wearing. Yeah, she's wearing the tank top.
Maar t-shirt.
That's actually underwear. Yeah, that's also underwear. Yeah. That's why it's
Underwear is
called
like
under what you wear. So a t-shirt is underwear, but the thing is, the reason why the t-shirt you could do that right here, right now, is because you have a garment over your underwear. That's why it's underwear, because it's under something that you wear, right? So a t-shirt could be yes, but a tank top you can't put a tank top on because that's really like you're half naked.
Oh, it's about that. Now, naked. But this not that naked.
No, that's not a tank top because it's closed.
Close here.
You know, it's,
Yeah,
it's still
But
closed.
only my arm.
Only your arms is visible. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, alright, that's good.
Yeah,
Because
it's
you
the
have
same thing how back in the day I had a garment. The garment went all the way down to...
yeah, because you have this, so it doesn't. It's good. It's good.
Because you butt. I see you in the gym, man.
Shout out, Buff.
So yeah, man, because what the reason why the elder apostles was talking about it is because of the how you call that thing again? It's because that the IUIC they're putting fringes up on their underwear. Yeah, no. The underwear is your T-shirt. So the elder apostle was saying, like, listen, you put fringes on your underwear because a T-shirt is supposed to be underwear. Now she's dressed in better. You see that?
You're barely making it though.
She's still dressed better than all the other.
Here is walking like some sticks.
Still dressed
Stiff as hell.
more decent than what she was wearing the other day.
She looked like a rat in her clothing.
Stop.
Stop hating. Stop hating.
She good, man. Yeah. Like a wet rat.
Ready to play it.
Right. So yeah, there you have it, man. So on right, so can we go back to where we were? Where were we again?
We didn't even start actually.
Concerning, you wanted to go into,
To read some.
you wanted to grab the scripture concerning what's going on.
Yeah, I have it. This is Isaiah 25 and 7. And he will destroy. Huh?
I'll read it for you.
Okay.
This is Isaiah chapter 25, verse 7, and it reads, And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people,
Shameless.
Okay.
and the veil that is spread over all nations.
Who's on top?
Can you read it again?
This is Isaiah chapter 25, verse 7. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people.
Can, because Esau is seen as an angel of light, man. You know, so they always think that he's innocent, but he's not, man. So now that but it's still surprising that still a lot of people took the needle, you know, and still got that, and they still just didn't fight back, you know, because they know the elites are too powerful. But still, there's still a lot of information and a lot of people that are against them as well. You know, when you threaten people's livelihood, they basically buckle, man.
Fight back.
You know, they basically buckle and just agree. You know, and that's gonna be the same thing with the mark of the
Beast.
the bees.
The marker of the scorpions.
Yeah. The mark of the bees. You know.
Mark of the bees. that a lot of scorpions will take.
Yeah, man.
You know, and the scorpions are the Israelites according to Ezekiel chapter 3 and 2. Chapter 2, yeah. You know, and briars and thorns. A lot of briars and thorns, which are the people of the world, they're gonna take that thing, and they're gonna be deceived. You know, because it says in the book of Revelation that Revelation 14, that them that were deceived that took the mark, his mark. You know,
Can you continue?
Right. Verse 8. He will swallow up death in victory, and the Lord power will wipe away tears from off all faces. And the
Can you
rebuke.
read it again? Read it again.
This is Isaiah chapter 25, verse 8.
Verse 7.
Or verse 7. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations.
Yeah, because they still believe that Esau is innocent, you know, especially the common folks. But in the Middle East, it's not like that, man. That's why they always say death to America, man. You know, I'm Al Qaeda and death to America. When they introduce themselves, even in Yemen, even man, in Yemen, when they are getting bombed, whose bombs do you think they use, man? I just saw a documentary, and guess what? German bombs, English bombs, and I believe American bombs, man. You understand? So Esau is always in the mix, man, because they have this territory that's rich in oil. It's not as rich as Saudi Arabia, but it is very rich. And there's this other tribe of Edom, of Ishmaelites, that how do you say that? That are living in that that region. So Iran is financing them with bombs to fight against Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia is getting financed by America to fight against those people to get the oil over there, to displace them, you know. So you still and in Yemen itself, you have other tribes that are basically in league with Saudi Arabia as well, but they're not fighting against the ones that are with Iran. You understand? So. And I believe that they're not even from Ishmael, because we met three guys from that tribe, man. They were from Yemen, and they said they're not from Ishmael, and it was very interesting, man, because their spirit was different. They would kind of how do you see that? You see, they're like from that. They're not that aggressive type.
Yeah, the one that we met here.
Yeah, man.
Oh, that was.
It's interesting, man.
Right. They said about not want to have war.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
They didn't have that aggressive type spirit like most Ishmaelites have, you know. It was they were completely different, man. So
They listen more.
yeah, they listen more as well, you know. Yeah, man. So can you continue? A lot of but all this the lies, you know, that Esau has been covering these nations with is being taken up, man. Can you continue? Okay, let it finish this.
Verse 8. And it reads, He will swallow up death in victory, and the Lord power will wipe away tears from off all faces, and the rebuke of his people shall he take away from off all the earth.
Exactly. So we're not gonna be seen as low anymore, man. We're gonna be placed on top of all the mountains, as we just read for these other Edomites that came up, man. And Isaiah 2. We're gonna be on the top of the mountain, and everyone's gonna try to follow our ways, just like in the past it happened before, man. When Mordecai, I believe, when Esther's uncle was set up to be put to death by the Elamite king, it turned on him, and he was hanged on the gallows that he was how do you say that?
Made for himself.
He made for Mordecai. But after that, he basically, it said that all these provinces in the Persian Empire, they all wanted to follow our ways, man. And I read this, and I was like, hey, that's what's gonna happen again, you know?
Not this way. Psalms 9 and 15. The heathen are sunk down in the pit that they have made. In the net which they hid is their own foot taken.
Proverbs 10?
Yeah, Proverbs 9.
Proverbs 9. Can you read it again?
Proverbs 9 and 15. The heathen are sunk down in the pit that they made.
So
In the
they have created a pit that they made. One of them is feminism, you know. Giving women power over men, you know. But that's also coming from not only that, but from the Amalekites, man. Because don't forget, they hate the other Edomites as well, man. That's how wicked they are, man. They are pushing Jacob not because they love Jacob. They are pushing Jacob to be popular so that the women from the other nations, from the other Edomite tribes, can be with Jacob, and their birth rate, right, can be lower, man. So
It is
there's
lower.
lower and lower, less and less Edomites being born, because now even Ishmaelite girls be with head wraps, man, in Holland, be saying that they like dark skins, man.
I got a
In
precept.
crazy,
France,
man.
in France, you can't get them off of them, man.
Hey, it's crazy, man.
Got a precept.
Come. No, let me finish this.
Psalm chapter 9, verse 15. The heathen are sunk down in the pit that they have made. Let me read it again. The heathen are sunk down in the pit that they made. In the net which they hid, their own foot is taken.
Come.
Their own foot taken.
And MGTOW guys,
Let me read it again.
Come.
The heathen are sunk down in the pit that they made. In the net which they hid is their own foot taken.
exactly. So MGTOW guys say this. I've heard this multiple times. They say the black man, of course the Israelites, they're 20 years ahead of us, because the woman basically, how do you say that? Left us and chose the system over us and stuff like that, And now they say, hey, that's happening to them now. Around the 90s, it started to happen to them, And that's why they say we are 20 years ahead of them, So the pit that they dug to destroy the family structure, that's happening to them as well.
Right, verse 16.
You know?
The Lord is known by judgment which he executed. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands.
Okay. So his internet, like a good example is the internet. He wanted to have networks that can connect people all around the world, but it's actually for the truth to be spread.
100%.
And that's why now they want to cut it off, but it's too late, man.
They do, because on YouTube it's messed up. My videos be getting flagged just for the links that I put in the video, man. My video was gotten flagged because of a link that I put in order to make you understand what certain words mean, man. You know what I'm saying? They're talking about, oh, you put the they're talking about I put an erotic link in YouTube description box, and that's not allowed, and therefore I get a strike. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? It was a link that goes to Wikipedia, which shows you about your little sodomy activities, man. And it had no goddamn nudity in there, and it did, but it was an illustration of a picture drawn with the hand, with two Romans, and the other one was again two Greeks, doing their little Greek thing, and it wasn't even intimate. It was just two naked dudes standing, hugged up on each other, and the other one was also I don't know, I forgot the other one, but I remember them two Romans, man. The two Romans I remember, but the two Greeks I don't even remember because I didn't stare at that shit. I just put the link in there, and then they say I'm promoting pornography and shit, and therefore I get a strike. What the fuck is that shit, man? Fucking bullshit. They're lying, man. They're devils. But that shows you, like, hey, I'm trying to upload videos and stuff like that. I gotta watch what I say concerning the links. Now I gotta watch links. How the fuck am I gonna teach these people then? They want you to actually be so-called, how you call that thing again? They don't want you to basically still tell the truth. That's the point. Truth is the enemy nowadays, man. If you speak the truth, they don't like you. Then they're gonna flag and strike your videos and stuff like that, But the funny part is the truth is still coming out, man. It's still coming out, but it hurts them. That's why we got other places like YouTube, Brand New Tube, Odyssey, and stuff like that.
Yeah, Odyssey, BitChute. BitChute also, right?
BitChute also.
You have
man.
BitChute
Yeah,
also?
Yeah.
Come. So,
precept?
yeah,
Psalms 10.
I got precept for you too.
This is Psalms chapter 10, verse 2, and it reads, "The wicked in his pride doeth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined."
come. So they have all kind of ways that they want to take down Jacob, But a lot of times it gets their own people. So now they have food engineered specifically only for Jacob to get destroyed, Back in the days, they didn't have it to a perfection like now, now they have this food that's specifically made to destroy Jacob. So these whistleblowers always was talking about us getting destroyed by the elites for their wicked devices that they have behind the scenes pointed at us. But it was also getting them at the same time, you know. So now they have it, how do you say it, to a perfection that is only for us. But of course, they can't do that 100% because they still have poison in the tap water and food and stuff like that. So you know, it's still hard to. And Jake is strong also, man. Their immune system is very strong, you know. Some people, like during the Tuskegee experiments, they didn't even get syphilis, you know.
Yeah, they had to scrape them and then rub it in.
Yeah.
But that's the thing for Edomite, touching another man's genitals. It's nothing for them, man. You know, they touch other men's semen too, man. They just wipe it off of the back of the female and start going to work. That's some fucking demon shit, man. I gotta pray some for you. Isaiah chapter 3 verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy paths.
Okay. So we're following. Can you get Isaiah 31 as well? So we're following this Christian doctrine, the school system. What else? The Christian, the spirituality is led by Esau. You know, the Christian doctrine, right? Jesus loves everyone, and he's a white man, of course. Then you have the school doctrine, which also gets you because you become a slave because you believe in the lies that they spread. Like you know, all these diseases are not curable. You know, but I'm not gonna go into that too much. And
Yeah, man.
and the needle, of course.
Pinnacle need.
And the other things, man, the entertainment stuff as well, man. Like rappers that be teaching you, talking about selling drugs, man, and killing one another, and that makes you cool for some reason.
Can I say something?
If you have a record, you're cool for some reason.
That's why the Heavenly Father is now making these Edomites go hard upon these rap groups right now. Getting hit with the Ricos and stuff like that. They getting knocked out their socks, bro.
21 Savage got something like that.
I don't know.
Young Thugger.
Yeah,
Young
that guy.
Thug, not
Yeah, that
21
guy.
Savage, but Young
You know,
Thug.
they be knocked out
But
their socks.
did they deport this guy or didn't they? 21 Savage. He's from England, right?
Yeah.
Was he supposed to get deported or something?
I don't know, man.
Why is he still there? He's still in America. What's that about, man?
I don't know. But the thing is, it's good that they're being knocked out their socks right about now, man. You know, guys like Trouble being knocked out of his socks too. You know why? Because he's an adultery person. According to the scripture, a man that commits adultery, like especially like him, needs to be put to death honorably, man. That guy that killed him should be let free. But then again, that female also should be put to death, man.
Yeah.
Because if you know you got a husband or a man, what you doing with another dude? You see, you girls, you picked the wrong choice, and actually you're supposed to pick one dude for the rest of your life and die with him. But you ain't gonna do that.
That guy don't even look like a killer, man. He don't even look like a killer, but I guess he had it in him, man.
Yep. Guess your ass.
He don't look like a killer, man.
Bet your ass he was angry that day.
Yeah, man.
He was a killer that day. You know, you pissed him off that much, that right amount, that he just flipped on you, pulled a pack on you, and then poof, shot you in the chest, man. Because a few days before that, he was boasting how he take other men's wives, man. He was boasting about that.
And the Most High put him to death for that, man. And let's read it as well, man. This Leviticus.
Shalom.
Hey, shalom.
Yeah, man.
This Leviticus 20. Where is it? 20 and 13, right?
What do you want? Sodomy?
No. Woman, adultery.
Adultery. On it's 18.
18, okay. So this Leviticus
What?
20 and 18.
No. It's chapter 18. Let me get it.
Leviticus 18.
Yeah. Let me get it. Yeah. Wait. Let me get it.
Because everything is in the scriptures, man. You know? Every situation that you could get yourself into is in the scriptures. You know?
It's 20.
Okay.
So it says here, Leviticus chapter 20, verse 9. No, 10. And a man that committed adultery with another man's wife.
So adultery is when a man sleeps with a woman that already has a husband or a so-called boyfriend. Not a woman, not a man sleeping with a woman while he has a wife himself. That's not adultery.
A boyfriend is actually a boy that is your friend. It has nothing to do sexually.
Yeah.
It's your husband or not. Nowadays, these Edomites got people brainwashed by saying, oh, that's my boyfriend. What do you mean boyfriend? That's your friend that is a boy? You're supposed to say that's your husband, not your boyfriend. And you're not supposed to be marrying in the eyes of these Edomites. You're supposed to marry in the eyes of the Lord. That means that you and your husband, you two are the only one that basically know. Actually, everybody else would know. But basically, you two are the only one that form a union, not the government as an extra. Anyway, Leviticus chapter 20, verse 10. And the man that committed adultery with another man's wife, even he that committed adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death.
Exactly. And that's what you gotta do. You gotta put them both to death, because otherwise that idea is gonna spread, you know. And the fear of the Lord will be brought back if they see someone be put to death like that in front of everyone, man. You know? If you know that you can get 20 years just for selling drugs, just like in Thailand and stuff like that, man, places like that, you're not gonna be easily dealing drugs, man. You know? Because people get put to death over there quick if you have a little amount of drugs, you know. So that's what the scriptures say, man. That adultery is he that committed adultery, he lacketh understanding. That's what it says as well, you know. So can you give me Job 20?
Job chapter 20, verse what? 1. Job 20 and 1.
And you give me Isaiah 13, 14. Oh, you started Isaiah 13. Read Isaiah 13 first. Let me read this one.
Job 20 and 1.
Wait, let them read Isaiah 13.
Top.
Yeah.
Isaiah 13 and 1. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see.
Exactly, the burden of Babylon. This is what's going to happen to America, right? When you read in Revelation, you understand that that's talking about America, right? Because we follow their customs, their ways of music, you know, fashion, all these type of things. You know, people laugh at us for wearing these garments. Meanwhile, we should be laughing at you, man. Because these are the...
We should be laughing at the bloomers.
Exactly, man. Because these are the garments. These are the garments that we used to wear. Huh?
That's underwear, man.
Yeah.
That's underwear. That's bloomers, man. Like for real. Hey, back in the days, they used to be underwear, man.
Yeah.
You with the fringes, like almost not the fringes. Hoe doe je dat? Fransjes of so? That's
Franjes.
underwear, man. That shit that our grandmas used to wear when they went to sleep or something like that,
Yeah,
man.
man. Yeah.
But slacking, man. I didn't mean to cut you off, but it was just because you said we need to laugh at them, and then it walked by and I saw that shit. And I was like, that is actually to be laughed at, man. And then they laughing at our garments, but slacking.
Good. So look, man. These are the garments. This is what we used to wear before we went into captivity, before we went into slavery. In West Africa, they still have these type of garments, man. In China, in these kung fu movies, they still have these garments. The Arabs, they still wear these garments. They call them jalabas over there, right? In Pakistan and India, they have these garments as well. So, if you notice it, then you're gonna understand that this is actually the heritage that we had before we lost it, man. You know. So can you read it?
Read on?
No, let them read.
I'm sorry. the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the noble.
What is
Noble.
this, man?
Dit is
What is this? And if, hey, but if they get raped, then we have to say no. The guy is bad. Is a bad guy that did it. You should. Hey, they need to be brought to Syria. A girl like that need to be brought to Arab country and be let her walk around like that.
I saw it, but I didn't say anything, man. I just kept on laughing and let you talk.
You
Crazy,
all have
because
different
I
rules, so
don't want
it
to
doesn't
disrupt
mean
the thing no
Yes.
more. As soon as it's hot, these females just come out like that, man. Like, you don't even.
Oh, het valt van me op dat iedereen een andere soort jassen heeft. Is dat een rang of een titel? Zo?
Nee, man, het is gewoon je eigen smaak.
Oh, is gewoon je eigen kleur. Die
Als
je
je dit mooi vindt.
Je moet alleen zorgen dat je een blauwe rand hebt eraan.
Ja.
En franjes sowieso. Weet je wel? Het moet eigenlijk van één materiaal zijn, alles. Weet je, dus blauw symboliseert zeg maar de wetten en die andere numerie is dat, numbers.
Ja, numbers wat ik
En de
heb, ja.
geboden, weet je? De geboden en de wetten moet je herinneren.
Oh, dus dit
Numbers
heeft hij ook aan.
23, right?
Ja.
Ah, de fringes and the border of blue.
Wait, let me get it.
It's in numbers 20,
staat in de Bijbel.
23, I believe. Or,
Maar er staat in de Bijbel dat we het aan moeten doen in ons dagelijks leven of alleen als we naar
ja,
kerk
kijk,
gaan.
wij you can get can you get Matthew 10 and be wise as serpent and harmless as a dove? Kijk, eigenlijk moeten we dit altijd dragen, maar omdat we in deze wereld leven, dragen we dit niet. Omdat
Ja.
je een bepaalde mensen gaan naar je kijken, je gaat aandacht trekken, snap je? Mensen gaan denken van, hé, waar ben je mee bezig, weet je? Dus ze gaan het niet snappen. Maar de scriptures zegt wel van, be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. Dus in bepaalde situaties moet je bepaalde dingen niet doen. Want je kan bijvoorbeeld je werk missen, want je gaat verliezen. Bijvoorbeeld.
Ja.
Ze denken van, hé, wie is deze rare kill? Snap je? Hij denkt dat, snap je? Sowieso als ze een van ons zien en ze zien dat je een baard hebt en je draagt zo'n kleed, ze denken je bent een moslim-extremist of zo.
Ja.
Je ziet Arabieren ook niet met deze dingen echt op hun werk lopen, toch? Snap je? Dus je moet verstandig zijn met bepaalde dingen, maar eigenlijk in de kingdom, in een koninkrijk, gaan we dit weer dragen. Dus we gaan niet die Europese kleding meer dragen wat we nu aan hebben. Want dit is eigenlijk kleding van de Europeanen. Het is
Ja.
niet van ons. Snap je? Na slavernij zijn we dat gaan dragen.
Ja.
Snap je?
In West-Afrika hebben ze dit.
Ja.
Ja, toch? Jij hebt vast ook zoiets
Ja,
thuis.
ja, ik heb thuis, ja man. Maar,
Ja, toch?
maar nu hebben ze het zeg maar gemoderniseerd. Het zit vast aan elkaar. Dus Afrika werd voor, zeg maar.
Dicht.
Ja, dicht, ja.
Maar eerst was het open, toch?
Ja. Eerst was het open, dan kon je mee draaien en zo. Maar soms zo, way back gewoon.
Right.
Ja.
Numbers chapter 15, verse 37, titled The Fringes of Remembrance. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue. And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that they may look upon it, that ye may look upon it, and remember all the commandments of Yahweh, and do them, and that ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which ye used to go a whoring.
Ja, precies. Dus deze dinges, die blauwe rand, is bijvoorbeeld sowieso onze natie. En die franjes, die symboliseert de wetten en de geboden van de Hemelse Vader, snap je? Dus daar staat het voor. Dus als je het ziet, dan herinner je de geboden en wetten van de Hemelse Vader. En dat je het probeert te houden, tot het beste van je capaciteit. But continue.
Matthew 10.
Yeah.
10, 16.
Yeah, read that as well.
Matthew 10 and 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove.
Yeah, so some things, just like the scripture says, not everything is lawful. Everything is lawful, but not everything is expedient, you know. we're supposed to keep
Yeah.
these commandments. We're supposed to keep the dress code, you know, wearing fringes and stuff like that, you know. But if you have a job and they see you wearing fringes all the time and a garment, you know, then they're gonna say, hey, you missed. Who is this extremist? You know, that's what they're gonna say.
Maar het is welke ben ik? Welke
So read. Jij bent West-Afrika toch?
Oh, oké.
Ashanti, Ewe, Ga of zoiets. Fanti. Wat ben je, Fanti?
Ja, ik ben Asante.
Ashanti, ja. Him, dat betekent him from the burning city. I like that when they walk kind of fucked up. Can you continue?
Yeah, that's it looks sexy.
Like that. I'm gonna put them over the ones that think they high. Look.
She got rolls on her back.
Huh?
And you can roll over, right?
She's gonna trade that off.
Yeah.
She's gonna work that right off. Come.
Something to hold on, right?
Can you read that?
Back to Isaiah.
Come.
Back to Isaiah.
Get that fat.
Yeah, come. Read it.
Isaiah.
It's a fat ass back.
Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountains, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles. I have commanded my sanctified ones.
Yeah.
I have also called my mighty ones, for mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness.
Exactly. Who rejoices in his highness, man? We rejoice in his highness. We rejoice that the Yahweh Shemeshai is going to send his judgment upon the planet Earth. A lot of people don't want that, man. They want this homosexuality and feminism to continue. You understand? So read.
The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumult.
Tumult. Tumult.
Tumultus.
Tumultuous.
Tumultuous.
Dus dit is live. Live. Nee, het wordt gewoon opgenomen.
Yeah, tumultuous.
We daarna wel op
Tumultuous. It's a tumult. It's basically what you hear when you have if I'm correct, let me look it up. It's what you hear when you have a soccer game and then you hear there's a tumult.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna look it up for just you know.
Can you continue?
Noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustered the host of the battle.
Khan, the Lord of hosts mustered the host of the battle. You understand? So he's gonna lead his chosen ones, his mighty ones, to fight against all these nations. Read.
They come from a far country, from the end of heaven.
Khan, and that's talking about the nuclear missiles, man. Read.
Even the Lord and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. Howl ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand.
Khan, for the day of the Lord is at hand. People don't really consider that yet, but they're gonna wish that they put their time and effort into trusting and believing in these scriptures, man. Because it's like when you know, when something is available and you don't make use of it, and it's gone, and then you make use of it, all of a sudden you can't, you know. That's how it's gonna be, you know.
I got a piece of it.
Read.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 14, and it reads, Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again
Exactly.
until they come upon the earth.
The plagues are sent, but they will not return again until they came upon the earth, right?
God.
You know, that's what's coming. The how do you say that? Famine, pestilence. You know, the sword. Read.
Verse 15, the fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth.
Until it consume the foundation of the earth. You know, so all the elements shall melt. What does it say in 2 Peter, man? Can you read that as well? 2 Peter 3 and 10.